What's up, my beautiful peoples? It's your boy Mikey, better known as MichaelRayBower. This is Mikey's World. That's right, you are about to go on an adventure, hear some stories, and whatever's happening in my world. And I want to first off thank each and every one of you for supporting me in Mikey's World. I need a logo, I need an intro, but hey, I'm working on it little by little. At least I'm up, awake, instead of being depressed and doing something. Thank you, Jesus. And I just quickly wanted to say all the pictures of the people wearing merchandise from my shows, my merchandise store, taking pictures with me that you saw in the beginning of this live stream. If you have any pictures with me or the merchandise or autographs or whatever that you've taken, please send it to me at my email. The information is down below, and hopefully I will get you in the intro to support you because you all support me. That being said, first off, please hit that thumbs up, that like, that subscribe button. It helps me out, make a few dollars on YouTube. Please consider becoming a member for exclusive early content, some future members only live streams. It is happening. It's going to be happening. And, some of my material goes behind a paywall. Then it goes out into the public. And then it goes behind a paywall again. It's like a smorgasbord. It's kind of how you have to do it. You got to tease people, bring them back in to make a few dollars off of the YouTube. It's kind of tough. But man, you guys have been really supporting me the last couple days, or the last couple, well, you've been supporting me forever, but I'm financially struggling, and I've mentioned that on almost every show the past month, and you guys have really supported me. So consider donating, super chatting, becoming a member, and if you do find yourself wanting to support in that way, can I recommend doing it through Venmo, PayPal, or Cash App? Because that way the money gets to me a little bit quicker than waiting a month or so from YouTube, since I am financially struggling. And I will be in contact with you somehow, some way, to try to reciprocate the love, the donations, the friendship, the fandom. I might not get to it to 2 or 3 or 4 weeks later, but I'm going to try to somehow repay all the kindness that you all have given me, whether it be in video form, if I could send you something, for the Cash App, the Venmo, and the PayPal purchases, and not purchases, but like the donations. So all I can say is thank you. God bless. I appreciate that. I do got super chats available if you want to do it that way on YouTube and ask me questions. Get them live on screen. They do get priority. And I have a merchandise store that you saw in the beginning. Links are down below where you can pick up whatever merchandise is there. And there is going to be some new things being represented there in the coming days, because I'm finally having a full day of life. I'm waking up anywhere between, 8 and 10 in the morning, which is still kind of late for a lot of people. But I'm waking up, I'm doing my routines, my little bit of exercise and what I got to do. And instead of sleeping all day, staying up all night like a vampire, I've been able to get on a schedule after I got out of my depression. And now I'm realizing there's sun, there's life in the world. And now I got so much time to do some personal work. I find all these hours to try to catch up on my personal work. And I'm kind of almost live streaming every day or every other day. And then you guys are supporting, and it's helping me earn extra income. So it's kind of like a good feeling that I haven't had in a long time, even though I'm scared shitless of the future, paying bills, rent, how I'm going to move out, how I'm going to raise that amount of money. But man, it's It's been a good week or two for me, for getting work done or getting something done. And I appreciate that. But like around 5, 6, or 7 after I live streamed, which I went I went late today. But then I'm pooped. I'm pooped from a long day of, even though they are simple things, sometimes for me, even doing simple things like emails, trying to upgrade a store, talking to people on the phone, going through pictures and autographs and whatever, even though it might be simple and not really considered work to some people, I don't do it all the time, and it's a lot for me. I had a very anxiety-filled day yesterday. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But yeah, I got merchandise and cameos available if you feel like supporting, getting a shout out. And we're going to leave it at that. Thank you guys. Let me get the banner on screen, or whatever they call it, where it tells everybody, how you can support, how you can become a member. We got a good show today. I don't know if I should call it a show or a hangout, but we got a good show today. And if you guys help me meet the super chat goal of 20 super chats or donations, I think it equals around like 20, 40, 60, like $60 or $70, whether it be coming through PayPal, Venmo, or Cash App. That'll reach the goal for me. Like $75 in total would reach the goal for me that I have in mind. It's okay if I don't meet it, but I will play truth or dare for like 15 minutes. That means you guys can ask me some crazy questions and I have to be truthful. So if we get an overall donation of 75 or more, I'll play truth or dare at the end of the show. And dare means I might do some of the things you tell me to do. Maybe the members only, I will specifically do what they tell me to do within reason, because basically you are selling your soul. And what people do for money, it's a wild thing. What are we going to do on today's show? Well, we are going to talk about SNL, Saturday Night Lives, and demons. Was it a ritual that we witnessed on Saturday Night Live with Lady Gaga? I made a post about it on Twitter and Facebook, and boy, they came after me. I'm talking about demons. That's going to be an interesting subject from my point of view. Also, I'm going to share a little story of how a stunt in a movie I filmed almost ended me. That's right. And YouTube, on my last live stream, crushed me. Even while I was doing it, I said, something's going to happen after this live stream, because we were talking about, and we were watching a video about YouTube don't like that. So let's get the show started. Let me first say hello to the guest and the first person that got online early and said anything. The first person, there it is. It was Johnny Bowser. Mike's on fire. Woo, woo, woo. He can't be stopped. It's true. He's a really awesome dude. Bringing the fun on the YouTube tube. Wow. That was a mouthful. And I did it at first read. That's what actors do. You see, they're called cold reads. We do a fantastic job at cold reads. You do have to study to do it. You have to get an education. You have to get an education in acting to do that stuff. Brent Mania, don't worry about it, brother. You've been sending me a lot. And we appreciate you, Brent. You're freaking awesome. Forgive me, I'm not going to get to all the comments at this exact moment because we're going to start the show. But there will be a segment, and super chats and PayPals and Venmos and Cash Apps will be, read on screen if there's any note or anything, as I truly, truly want to respect. But we got like an interesting show today. So I'll try to read, I'll definitely read the comments while we're going, but I might not read them all on air unless they're in super chat form or maybe from members or from PayPal or Venmo. But I will be reading them because I want the chat room to get lit. I want it to get lit, y'all. So we got Larry Jester in there, Brett Mania, come on, Jimmy Bennett, Johnny Bowser, Faith Mystic is online. Love her. She's a beauty. You guys check her out, her channel, support her. Queen Mother's online. Collector's Conquest is online. Yo, collectors, check your Instagram. I tried to make videos for you earlier, but my audio wasn't working. But check my messages. Mr. or Mrs. Pantaloons is online. What's up? Beautiful avatar. Skitty Tooth John and Stuttering John Fingernails. We got the Onion Peoples. We got the Onion Peoples online representing, and from the bottom of my heart, after Galaxy, whatever his name was last week, said, not saying that you are officially a troll, but he's like, let the trolls troll you. If they're going to pay you, let them troll you. So that's fine. But in general, he also made me realize he's an Onion fan as well. And he also made me realize, like, I got a few more subscribers and good quality people because of the Onion show. Whether I like what they do or that I like what they talk about or I like that person or individual in particular, maybe I don't. But there are some good people within the Onion people, and they are watching my channel, helping me earn a few extra bucks. So I have to be honest and say, thank you. I appreciate that. We are about to salute you. Josh Weigel, Jessica's online. Big Rebel Raiders here. Scooter G. Chip Galloway. Let's represent that. I really enjoyed your role in Dark Angel as Brian. Man, I want to make a Patreon, and I want to start reviewing my shows to hopefully not be copywritten by YouTube. And I think you can have them on Patreon. I don't know how, through a service. I don't really know. Where they don't copyright the videos, where I can react to my acting or my parts. I want to react to the whole episode or the whole thing. I don't have the ability to really edit nowadays. So I'm hoping to figure that out in the next month or so, because I really want to do that. Larry Jester gifted a membership. God bless you, Larry. Larry, we appreciate you, brother. You're all amazing people. Ross Incognito, Jim Arunda, Born Mush, Uncoachables here, Bakersfield High Society. Justin is here. All right. 20 minutes in, basically 15 minutes of a diatribe to start the show. Let's get it started. Let's get it started. Hey, thank you guys for giving me this outlet to tell my stories and to feel better and to rant and to rave. This is what I needed. Your guys' support and love really, really helps me. And maybe you guys have seen it in my videos recently. Even though I'm scared shitless about finances and life, you guys are helping me have good days within the bad days. All right, we'll leave it at that. All right. Sorry, I thought I made the thing. There we go. All right. Let's give a taxes update, since that's what I've been doing recently. Well, many people are not going to be able to see my story because YouTube removed the video. We'll talk about that more later. But I was complaining about my taxes, how much it was costing, like $260-something, $68, I think it was, to do my taxes. and I didn't have that much money. I only had like $320 on me, and I needed to get money through my taxes because I think I'm going to get some money back. Again, people didn't watch, or the show's been removed. But long story short, I have a possibility. Well, I am deserving of money back according to my taxes. And I need that money so badly for my next rent or my next bills this next couple months. But I owe the government a little bit of money, like $300, I think it was, like $290 something. And I know that they've been taking out my money the past 2 or 3 years from my taxes. But there's a possibility that I only owe them $300 and I'm going to get like another $1,600 more on top of that where I don't owe them anymore. So I need to do my taxes, but it was costing me like $270 to do them. And I only have $300 to my name. So I was complaining on the previous show. And then a lot of you guys donated through PayPal, Cash App, or Venmo, which allowed me to add like another $100 to my bank account. That allowed me to make the decision to do my taxes, even though it was costing me $270 to do it. And again, I explained that all the documents are on TurboTax. I couldn't go to H&R Block. I have like 10 or 12 or 15 W-2s. I have 1099-Ks, 1099 miscellaneous, and so many variable forms of income from different factions that all that paperwork and information is on TurboTax, and that's how they get you. They get you to pay the $270 because they get all that information. Because I moved and I don't think my address has been updated to the companies, the payroll companies. So I don't get all my W-2s in my mailbox constantly. But TurboTax, because I've done it in previous years, they get all that information electronically. So I couldn't go to TurboTax to try to do my taxes cheaper. I had to continue to do it on effing TurboTax. But then I'm afraid that because I still owe a little bit of money, that I might not get any money back, that they're going to delay it or this or that. And it was a big process. But fortunately, due to the love, the respect, and the support, I did my taxes, and anywhere between 21 to 31 days, I expect to get the money in my bank account. But again, I do owe what is it? Is it unemployment? No, it's the unemployment from 2022. I owe the unemployment like $300 because of an issue with the wrong numbers and paperwork or whatever. So there's a possibility that I don't get any money and I had to spend like $270 on my taxes, because you never know what the government wants to do. They can come up with something else that they think that I owe them for. But there's also a possibility that I will get, after they take that little bit that I owe, that I'll get the rest from California and federal in my bank account. And that would be a dream come true. That would help me out since I'm financially struggling. But I was only able to do it because of the support and the love from you all on, the Cash App, the Venmos, and the PayPals. Thank you. Thank you. That being said, how much do I have in my bank account now? Like about $50. $55. But I'm blessed. My bills are paid for this month, technically, besides a phone bill for like $20. And I got a little bit of food in the fridge before hopefully my EBT is approved, because I need social services. I don't make that much money. I was on the phone with them yesterday. Let's talk about it. I'm ranting here. I appreciate that. We'll get into the meat of this show in a minute. Let Mikey do what he's going to do in Mikey's world. This is my world, my little bubble, because I live in a box. I'm the man in a box with no fucking money, no job nowadays. But it's going to be okay because I'm a good person. I got a big heart and I love. I'm pretty talented. I just hope the world can see it again. That being said, I'm the man in the box. But I had a big day yesterday. Still on the phone with the EBT people. They're like, explain your finances. How do you earn money? Don't go over this amount. You got to show us proof how you earn money. So I have to take pictures and this and that and documents and write written statements and prove how much money I make every month, but yet every month is different. They don't understand it. Oh, you got too many sources. What is YouTube? How do you get paid by Google? Do you have a W-2? No, I don't. I get a 1099 at the end of the year. Oh, can you take a picture? Can you send us the statement of how they paid you for the month of January and February? There are no statements. Everything's online. Through applications on Cameo, my merchandise store. It's just pictures. Well, the pictures don't count, even though you showed us the date and the amount of money you made, because it has to have your name on it officially in a document. I can't get any document. There are no fucking documents, EBT. I am not a single job person where I get a typical W-2 every day. I'm living in the gig economy, the donation economy. And that's another thing about EBT or food stamps. And I'm going to complain here. Y'all are going to get mad at me. Some of y'all will. But fucking for the previous 4 years, people from other countries were coming into America. They were getting credit cards. They were getting hotels. They were getting food stamps and everything while I am being interrogated for every dollar, every penny that I get, even through PayPal, which I can understand that businesses use PayPal, through Venmo, through CASHAPP. When I was talking to the EBT people, they were like, oh, you know what? Well, your bank statement shows you made this more amount of money than you're stating. And I'm like, yeah, because, I transfer the money from PayPal or Venmo or Cash App to my bank account. Oh, well, where did that money come from? I go, well, sometimes people donate and support me. Or they give me a birthday gift like they did recently of money. And then the ladies, oh, you should have told us about this like a week ago or 2 ago when I applied for food stamps again, because they cut me off a year ago or in like October or November. She's like, you should have told us about this income. That's all considered gross income. I go, aren't they gifts? Isn't it considered gifts? That's what the other lady told me for EBT about a week or 2 ago. That's what she told me. Oh, no, you got to report the income from Venmo and PayPal and Cash App. All right. After I went through 20 different companies to record the income for residuals and stuff like that, my merchandise store, my Cameo, now I got to get all that information for PayPal, Venmo, Cash App. I got to take pictures. They want a document. There are no documents. The only document is when I send the money over to my bank account, if I do that. Well, that created a whole nother mess for me. I had to reapply for EBT and do it the correct way yesterday. I was on the phone for 3.5 hours again. Then I got off. I had to fill out more paperwork and upload it to their portal. And then that took me like another 1.5 hours to do all that paperwork and try to get all that information and upload it to the portal. Right? Now, they haven't even seen it or updated me, and it's been a day. So I'm freaking the fuck out. Because my fat ass is going to eat whatever food I got probably in the next 2 weeks. And speaking of food, I'm making a pot roast. I'm having a beautiful damn meal for the next couple days. I got a pot roast in whatever they call it, the stove. The stove, what is it? The crock pot, the long crock pot. I got potatoes, got carrots. I do have pork. It's like pork belly or pork roast, like a couple like decent sized pieces. I'll eat it for 3 or 4 days. Oh, I got celery in there too, and then a little bit of seasoning. Everything needs seasoning, even sex. And that reminds me, I said a sex story on the last live episode that was taken down. Only some of you remember it that were watching. But damn it, that's my tax update, my EBT update, and I'm just fed up with this world and this society. Now, I don't even know what's going to happen with Medicaid, with, the Trump stuff. And again, they're all evil politicians. Do I like some better than others? Maybe I do, maybe I don't. I don't care. You're not going to normally get politics on this show unless I'm really wanting to rant. But still, I need social services. Some people want to call me like living off the system or whatever the hell they want to fucking say. That's your fucking problem. I pay my taxes. I get taxed like almost 50% because I live in California. I don't make a lot of money, but everything is almost taxed 50 fucking percent. So we'll leave it at that, y'all. All right, we're going to talk about the SNL in just a second, but I wanted to look at some of the comments. I forgot to turn my screen on the comments. I didn't know if I was getting any super chats or anything. I forgot. Forgive me. Forgive me. Scooter G. All us onions love you, BRB. Big Ray Bower. Ray Bower. Allow the P-Man to help you with super tips. I ain't doing that. I appreciate you get 90% donated right away. I appreciate that. There is some controversy. I do dabble in the Dabbleverse, and there is some controversy about information and stuff like that. And, but it's a cool system. I think it does the voices. I don't really understand or care how it works, to be quite honest with you. But hey, at least they're trying to do something. I hope they're not scamming people for information, but at least they're trying to create a company or do something. So that's a good for the onion people and the P-men. The P-man. That sounded weird. The P-man. The P-man's just like me, struggling to get through daily life, live streaming to make a living. But yeah, thank you, Scooter G. But I will not be partaking in probably much of anything with the P-man, only because he insulted me and did some evil shit in my perspective to me. And it was all in good fun. It's all a skit. It's all a bit. He didn't really do it. He's just making fun of your apartment. He's just making fun of you. He's just making fun of you. You are funny. You're a lolcow. It's all in good fun. When it's personal attacks, yeah, it's not good to me. Once I place somebody in a category, good or bad, they're semi-dead to me. Thank you, Scooter G. Wanna Fade UFC for the $4.99 super sticker. Is that a Doge dog? What kind of dog is that? That's a cool avatar. Thank you, Wanna Fade UFC. Appreciate that. Chip Galloway for the taxes. My top five, for the taxes. my top 5 favorite roles that you played was Junior from Tales from the Crypt Season 1, Episode 3. Well, thank you, Chip, for that. Yeah, dude, looking back, I worked with, rest in peace, Richard Donner, better known as Dick Donner, because he was a dick on a lot of occasions. But normally they call any Richard a dick. But he was a little bit of a harsh director, but he was actually a kind, harsh director. And he passed away recently, and he was from the Goonies, and I had a fantastic time working with Richard Donner. And we were struggling financially as well, because, again, it was only my dad taking care of us. And my dad was on the set, and my dad mentioned to somebody that, it was hard for them to take off time from work to get me on the set of Tales from the Crypt to film, because, he needs to make money. And, even though I was guaranteed money from Tales from the Crypt, again, we had things in play where agents and managers get a percentage. And then that was early on in my career where SAG and AFTRA was possibly going to put me on like a payroll system where they collect the money for younger people. And so there was no guarantee I would have had any money to help my dad out for missing work. Then they wanted me to stay longer in the day because they were filming was taking longer. And they were asking, could he stay a couple more hours longer after? We'll give a little bit more overtime money. And then my dad's like, no, we got to go. He's not feeling well. He's tired. My dad worked that night as a drummer. And he's like, I got to go to work at the restaurant as a drummer. And they're like, so long story short, they told Richard Donner about that struggles about money because my dad talked to a few people. Then Richard Donner hired my dad. They gave him a contract to be an extra. And it was like they gave him $1,000 cash that day, that night. So my dad's in it. He's an extra in the background, and I can always see him in there when I'm doing my skit at the carnival. And I saw the set from Tales from the Crypt. They had the set. It was out here. Where was it? North Hollywood, Burbank. It was on a street. It was off of a street called Sherman Way. But yeah, thank you for that. And thank you for letting me relive that story, Chip. Hey, Mikey, I was wondering if you auditioned for a role in the movie Heavyweights. No disrespect. I'm a big guy myself. Much love. I did not audition for a role in Heavyweights. I might have been working. My agent didn't get the call. I didn't audition for Heavyweights, but a lot of my friends in the industry did. I did not get that audition. Same thing as Mighty Ducks. I don't remember getting any audition for those projects. And I'm pretty good with remembering all the big movies I auditioned for that became big. Thank you, Wanna Fade UFC. Larry Jester, do you think Zeke the Plumber movie would be good? Nah, I mean, not really. Would it sell tickets or get views if it was on stream? Who could play Zeke if it came out now? First off, we're going to get into horror stuff in just a minute, but let me respect your question. Do I think a Zeke the Plumber movie would be good? Well, of course it could be, depending on who's writing the script or who's directing it and how much money they got. But what is the story of Zeke the Plumber? It's just that he lost his sense of smell and he takes people's dreams in their head in a nightmare. I mean, there needs to be a bigger and a better plot than that for Zeke the Plumber to actually be an interesting horror character. And only a few people will recognize that it started from Salute Your Shorts. Because, again, we weren't the biggest and best show on Nickelodeon. But, yes, it could be good if Blumhouse or one of these other entities, and these good horror writers took a stab at it and created more of a plot and more of a story and added gore and all that other stuff that I typically do not like, it could be a good movie. And there's like one horror movie every month that's brought out on streaming or theaters or wherever. So fuck it. Do it. But I think they'd probably have to pay the rights to Nickelodeon or the creator of Salute Your Shorts, Steve Schlafkin. I don't know how that all works. I really do not. Would it sell tickets or get views? Well, I said it would. Any horror movie does pretty decently. And who could play Zeke if it came out now? Well, just to be honest with you, I watched an episode of The Righteous Gemstones the other night of the new season of The Righteous Gemstones. And I forgot the guy's name, but he was in The Hangover as one of the leads, but he did that episode where he played like a villain. But he's a big name, Cooper something, Bradley Cooper or Cooper Bradley? I think it's Bradley Cooper. He's too big of a name, but dude, I can see Bradley Cooper as Zeke the Plumber based off of the character I saw him in the Righteous Gemstone episode from the other night about religion. That was fantastic. That was a great episode of the Righteous Gemstones. Not even funny at all. It took a turn for like scary stuff, man, where they explain how the Gemstone family became evangelist. It was a pretty good episode. Thank you for that, Larry Jester. All right, y'all. Again, please hit that thumbs up, that like, that subscribe button. Consider becoming a member of this channel for early and exclusive content. I got Super Chat available, raffle tickets. Oh, that's right. Everything will be entered into a end of the month raffle for an item from my merchandise store. I'm still figuring out the way that'll work. I'm going to have a lot of pieces of paper in the thing. I got to do that, though. But at the end of the month on this show, hopefully we can do that. And I got merchandise and stuff available. Become a member for support through PayPal, Venmo, Cash App if you can. I appreciate y'all. God bless. All right, let's get into some heavy topics. All right, let's get that on screen in case you want to support me, which I am needing help still. Information down below or in my description. Let's get into the next segment. All right. Let me see if I can get something on screen to talk about it. All right, Brent Mania. Thank you for the PayPal. Appreciate you. Love you. You know I do, brother. You are an amazing human being. And you're becoming, not only because you donate so much, you're becoming a really, really good friend of mine. Because you're just so supportive and telling me stories and sharing your life with me. That is a beautiful thing. Don't ever let anybody disrespect you because you send money to people to help them out. Don't ever let them disrespect you, and don't ever let it feed you. Okay? You're just reaching out for friends and you found one. You found one. All right, let me get something on screen somehow. Damn it, I thought I wrote it. Oh my goodness. Okay. Let's just quickly talk about this real quick. All right, from my last live stream, I watched a documentary video that was made 3 years ago, and it barely came online, talking about the Rona and showing a lot of information from doctors and other people about that and, you know, the possible connections of fraud, allegedly, and all that other stuff associated with the Rona and all of that stuff. And that video was never allowed on YouTube for like 3 years. Then all of a sudden it came online. And since I am a conspiracy theorist and I like talking that stuff, I watched that documentary, about 20 minutes of it, with you all live from YouTube. All right? Then, after the live stream ended, all of a sudden, maybe the next morning, oh no, it was later that night, I got a copyright. I was like, damn, the documentary that I reacted to and watched a little bit of and I reacted to got copywritten? From who? Then when I looked at the copyright or the strike or whatever they call it, the flag, it said it was from a song of a major artist named Chappell-Roan or something like that. There ain't no song in that documentary by the Chappell-Roan girl. So I'm like, what the hell is this? So I listened, and when I played, there was no audio of a song at that specific 2 minutes or whatever that it listed in the strike. There was literally no music at that moment. But I'm like, do I fight it? I ain't gonna fuck with YouTube. Especially an artist like Chappell-Roan, they got lawyers. I don't want this to officially become a copyright strike. So what can I do? Well, YouTube lets me edit out the music or the copyright or the flag or the this. You know, I can mute it or cut out the segment. So that's what I did. I just wrote, cut out the segment. Then I clicked apply or whatever, and it said, okay, we're editing your video, blah, 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 blah. I go to sleep. The next morning I wake up, I got emails. Your video has been stricken and removed for medical misinformation. I posted a picture on X. I didn't put it on my computer to show you guys, but apparently YouTube struck my video down and reacting for medical misinformation. Well, maybe there was misinformation in the documentary. But here's the point. They removed the video for medical misinformation, but the documentary was live on YouTube for like 4 days, and it's still live now on YouTube. It hasn't been removed, but my reaction off of watching it on YouTube, their platform where it's not removed, I got flagged for misinformation. Is it because I agreed with the video? Oh, yeah, that's right. That's what's going on. Uh-huh. That's some bullshit. That's what's going on. Allegedly. If you're watching YouTube, allegedly. But I don't know. It freaks me the hell out because the video is on YouTube. It has not been removed for medical misinformation. But my video gets removed for reacting to a video on their platform that they still let on there with medical information. But I get removed. You fucks. So now I'm even more scared shitless to play videos or do anything on this channel and even talk conspiracies on my Happy Alien podcast, which I was wanting to do. Do you all understand how they get people to not say their truth, their opinions, and they label it misinformation? It's sad as fuck. Because I like to, whether my opinions are correct or not, or you believe in a conspiracy or a this or a topic or that, just talking about it is not a call to arms. It is not factual. If I agree with something, it's not factual. You want to talk about medical misinformation, YouTube? Check out any information from the drug companies, from the commercials. Yeah, but they're all over YouTube. Huh? Yeah. But here's the bigger issue. I got like maybe $150 in donations through Super Chats. Maybe 120. I'm not exactly sure the number, but it was like well over 100. I got 26 Super Chats of varying amounts. And when I looked at my monetization on my YouTube app, it says I haven't earned that money as of a couple hours ago today. It does say that it takes 2 days to process the information, but I'm afraid because they removed the video, all the donations from Ghost and everybody else, Brent Mania, and all that other people, Waiver, etc., who on so forth. I'm afraid that that money has now been taken because they removed the video. I don't see it currently on my YouTube application as earned Super Chats. Maybe tomorrow because it takes 2 days. I think I made it on Sunday, that video. But today's Tuesday. That's 2 days. But maybe Wednesday, 3 days. But I have a fear that I lost all that income because they removed my video. We'll find out tomorrow. I mean, I did look it up on Google, and it said, no, they'll give you your money. So, but still, that was my biggest concern. But thank God it was a warning. After they told me they removed it and it got stricken, they said, this is your first time. It's just a warning. It's just a warning, Michael. It's just a warning. You're okay. Don't freak the fuck out. It's just a warning. But you do got to go to school. You got to go to the misinformation school through a video and a questionnaire. So in order to live stream again on your channel to make some money, you got to go through the misinformation, answer some questions school. And you got to get 7 out of 9 correct. And then the warning will also be removed in 90 days if you get 7 out of 9 correct. You got to go to school to get your streaming privileges back, but it's just a warning. And you got to pass your class. So I filled out the warning. I did all their bullshit. All right? Okay. Your warning will expire in 90 days. But in the meantime, if anything else happens, I officially get a strike. Then, when I looked maybe an hour later again, it said, you can appeal this decision. And it won't affect the warning, or it won't give you a strike or whatever. You can appeal it. You know, just to have a human reviewer. You could have a human reviewer. Oh, shit! The first person that did it wasn't human? I'm only human. All right. So I click on the appeal button, and I wanted to write. There was no audio in that moment. I took a screenshot, so I knew the time frame. I wanted to write, there was no audio or music in that moment for the initial copyright strike. And I watched and I wanted to write in a note, I also watched the video from YouTube that you're claiming has misinformation, and it's still on YouTube. It's from your platform. So why did I get, charged with misinformation? But there was no note. When I clicked appeal, I was expecting a note where I can write all that information to try to win the appeal. But it just said, okay, we got your appeal, and, we'll let you know if it is, appealed or whatever the word is. All right, so I did that. I'm going to give out a number. I don't know the exact time. Maybe I did that at 7 p.m. All right, did the appeal. They processed it. All right. I kid you not. 5 minutes later, while I'm still looking at my phone, I get a notification, like an email, like notification. 5 minutes later, your appeal has been rejected. It's been rejected. We had a human reviewer reject it, and we still agree with the initial results that it did have medical misinformation and stuff like that. So your appeal has been rejected within 5 fucking minutes. All right. So is there some Indian or Ethiopian or whoever the fuck runs YouTube sitting there in their little office? The minute I appealed it, oh shit, Hey Bower's YouTube channel hit an appeal. Let me go watch the video now. And it was a 3-hour video. Oh, look at the title. It says COVID fraud. Oh, that's misinformation. Denied. Send the email. YouTube gets it. Oh, we reviewed it within 5 fucking minutes. That's a bot. That's not a human reviewer. That's a bot. They made a final decision the first fucking time they gave me a warning. They made a final decision. But now they're telling you can appeal it. They didn't even give me a notepad to appeal it, to write my appeal. They just gave me an appeal. Hey, we'll have a human person look at it. Bullshit. Unless that was an iRobot from the future that's humanoid. Ain't no motherfucking human saw it. You made the decision with the warning, and I'm done talking about it because my blood pressure is getting high. Getting high. Deep surfish. Is that an octopus or a squid? Some people think they were the original inhabitants of this earth in the deep surface. And all those movies by James Cameron about the squid and all that, they are the original aliens. I think we are all descendants from the squid or the octopi. Remember that lady that had 8 babies? They called her Octa Lady. How the hell did you do that? Fearful is the best way to live. Stay afraid. Worry. That's a haiku. Fearful is the best way. No, it's not a haiku. Thank you, Deep Surface. I appreciate that. All right. Let's get into the big segment of today's show. And let me get something on screen. All right. Here it is, y'all. So I didn't watch it on Saturday night. I watched it on Sunday night. SNL. And I love SNL. My dream was to always be on SNL. I've never had an audition for SNL. I wish I would have. They hire Nickelodeon actors every once in a while, and I love SNL. Is it always the funniest? No. Do they lean toward the left? Yes, they do. And it probably, truthfully, hasn't been funny for 20, 30 years. But was it ever funny? Some people would ask. But I have noticed ever since I became a awakened conspiracy theorist, if you want to call it, or a person that's into numerology, symbolism, learning about Hollywood and satanic culture. Will I get messed up from YouTube for talking about this? Like, I have issues. I grew up religious with multiple religions. I was raised in a Catholic, I was raised in a Christian church. Baptist at first, then Christian. I hung out with Spanish people. They were all Catholic. Then I started hanging out with, I was selling bean pies with a black dude. I think he was Muslim because we were selling bean pies. And then around, the whole 9/11, I started studying a little bit about their religions and stuff like that. And then I had Jewish people as well. I went to bar mitzvahs, ate all the good motherfucking pancakes at these bar mitzvahs. Today I am a man. What? I'm not trying to make fun of it. I'm just trying to be comedic. I love each and every one of you. I don't care your religion. It doesn't mean much to me because the older I got, I started not believing in organized religion, man-made religion. The Bible was written by men. Men are evil. They're just stories. Is it real? Is it correct? Is it not? I don't know. I had so many thoughts in my head growing up, when I started getting older, that not that I denounced Christianity or whatever I was technically in. I also studied Taoism. I became a Scientologist for a couple of months of my life. That's right. Look it up. But I delved into Scientology with all the other actors, and I had to basically pull a shotgun out of my house to those people at my doorstep trying to take my house on my paperwork. That's a story for another day. But I delved in all that stuff. All right. I got lured into some of these things because I was trying to realize what religion and life was. I was asking questions about everything, myself, life, this, that. And I've had dreams of satanic imagery growing up. I told a story about how I was recruited in the Illuminati in a video. Please watch that story. It might be for members only, but it's a fantastic story where I had a dream of a satanic demon or whatever basically telling me to join them and let my father die and join Hollywood. And you'll find out what I chose if you watch that story. So satanic imagery, stuff in my head, religions, my head is here or there. I used to say that I saw Jesus in the closet, which I believe I did on many occasions when I was growing up. I believe in some weird sort of sense of the way, I believe I might have been abducted by aliens or something might have happened to my brain growing up because I have 3 marks on the back of my neck that no doctor can issue and subscribe. Plus, I got crazy thoughts about everything, and I'm afraid of a lot of things. I had a weird childhood. That's why I became an actor, maybe because I was able to play different characters. But let's get it back to the point. So I love SNL, and now I'm into symbolism, and I know what symbolism is for entities, PEDO files, satanic imagery. I'm learning a lot about all that stuff. And for the past 10, 12, 14 years, now when I watch a TV show or a movie, I recognize it. I see what they're doing. Some people will say they're not doing that. It's in the name of comedy. It's just a skit. It's just a that in terms of SNL. But I see they do it in movies, in Hollywood, and TV. And then in musical artists, they have a performance with all the satanic imagery and all this. And I watch all these videos. They look like rituals. They look like demonic rituals because it sells. It makes money. It gets talked about on the internet. But is it real? Is it really happening? I truly believe it is. So that brings me to Saturday Night Live. I'm watching it, and they've had many episodes throughout the years where they've done demonic things and characters. And in my opinion, it's a Hollywood ritual to some of those other actors, not Lady Gaga, we'll talk about her in a second, but it is a ritual for these people to be ingratiated by Hollywood in a power move, that they'll do anything they're told and they can be controlled. I know it for a fact. It has happened to me. I have had people throw their power moves and tell me to do things and try to silence me throughout my career. That's probably why I'm not famous now. But go watch that dream story that I talked about the Illuminati recruiting me in my video on my channel. SNL has had many people do really weird things in sketches in the name of comedy. Just to name an example, and it's the only one off of the top of my head, is The Rock. He's hosted a few times. Dwayne Johnson was getting bigger and bigger around these times. Then he did SNL. Then he gave his love to Satan in his opening statement at the end of it. That's right. He did that on his first episode, I believe, of hosting SNL. He said, "All hail Satan," or something like that. Let's get the show started. Is that supposed to be funny? Then, maybe the second time he hosted, or the third time, he did similar stuff. But there was one skit that The Rock did where they created a robot or something like that would, like, they could have sex with or kill, BABIES. Allegedly. Allegedly, YouTube. There was a skit where they were like creating robots or something like that, and this robot was created to hurt children. And they thought that was funny. There's probably many more examples. Oh, I should have it on the chat room. Forgive me. There's probably many more. Let me change it. There's probably many more examples that should be in the chat room. I mean, from SNL. But I'm watching Saturday Night Live. My dad, before he passed away, heard Lady Gaga singing, and I met her. I met you, Stephanie. Remember at Boulevard 3? Many years before you became famous? Same thing with Katy Perry. I helped Katy Perry move into her apartment before her album came out and she became uber famous. Like, my life is beautiful. I met some amazing people. But I met you, Stephanie. Remember that. You said you were a fan of mine. We took a picture. But my dad became a fan of Lady Gaga because she started working with that old singer, Timothy. She did an album with a classic singer from the past, Tony Bennett. She did an album with Tony Bennett. And my dad is now blind. And I bought that album for my dad because my dad was a Tony Bennett fan. So my dad started, "Oh, she got a beautiful voice. Lady Gaga got a beautiful voice." And I'm like, Dad, she's also, a beautiful woman. So my dad became a fan of Lady Gaga. Then there was a video. My dad was in the hospital, basically dying, and his birthday hit, his 88th birthday. Then there was a video of Lady Gaga singing "Happy Birthday." So my dad was dying, and it was his birthday. He was in the hospital. I told my dad that Lady Gaga, because my dad knew the story that I met her, and that I told my dad I knew her, which it's not really true, but I knew her a little bit. But I told my dad I knew her, and, he started to become a fan of Lady Gaga with Tony Bennett. And some of her classic songs, like on the piano, like the good songs, not the devil worship stuff. But I played the Happy Birthday song, and I said, "Dad, she made it for you, for your birthday." And he listened to it like probably 50 times that day that we had a little party for him in the hospital. And that gave a smile to my dad's face while he's basically dying. So Lady Gaga, in a weird way, means a lot to me in my life. But I do know the stories of her puking at a performance in LA on people, puking or having them puke on her in a bra, basically doing demonic rituals or whatever of the case. She's also experimented with Maria Abramovich, who is another devil-seeking person that does stuff like that. You guys can look it all up line. So I go into watching SNL every time Lady Gaga's on, not really thinking about the devil stuff or the bad stuff or the meat outfit or the meat costume and all that other crap. I go into watching Lady Gaga with my dad in my mind, in my heart, wanting to hear her do a good performance. And then I recently saw her in Joker 2. I thought they did a fantastic job. I liked the movie. I thought it was fantastic. I thought it was great. Lady Gaga got married. She got married to a Polanski, Mike Polanski. I don't know if he's related to Roman Polanski, but you guys need to look up Roman Polanski or the Polanski clan. Maybe there's some issues there with children and babies. But she got married to a Mike Polanski. She recently came out that she suffers from like amnesia or crazy thoughts or whatever, and she's trying to be a better person. So I go into Saturday Night Live thinking, shit, we're going to get the good Gaga. We're going to get the good Gaga. She has an album coming out. I should have known. It's called Mayhem. Should have known. But I watch SNL. Then I watch her performance of her music, of her song. But I think this SNL sketch came out first. And I was flabbergasted. I was disgusted. You guys, if you haven't watched it, go online, go watch it, and then come back. But I was disgusted. It was symbolism from the beginning. It started out interesting, but to give the premise, some girl lies about her birthday at a Friendly's restaurant to get a free sundae or cake or whatever. And then she's like, I don't want to lie. Come on, just get the free cake. It's good. They're not going to know it's not your official birthday. You know, then the waiters and the staff sing the song. Hey, they give them a cake. We know it's not your birthday. You're going to have to pay the ultimate price. Then all of a sudden, a snake comes out for that snake reference of demonology. They come out in red hoodies. They come out. Let me change the thing on screen. They come out in red hoodies. And then they put her through a ritual. We know you're lying about your birthday. Then they got out satanic symbolism. They put what appears to be allegedly a substance on a girl's face while they're chanting this stuff. Then the lady that probably wrote the script, I forgot her name, Sarah Sherman. She's talented and funny. She probably wrote the skit. It's probably from her brain. But then she has like chocolate in her mouth, but it could be BLOOD. Then they put the girl through the ringer, and it's all in the name of comedy, right? Then they have a demon come out. As you can see on screen, there's also another demon called Lamatsu. And then, you know, he tells the girl that lied something. And then they're like, drink the BLOOD. Drink it. She goes, I don't want to. And then Bowen Yang, the guy that is another demonic person to me, Bowen Yang, the gay, you know, comedian or actor from SNL, he's funny. I like him. But he did a movie a while back because I was a fan of him that I watched. And it had like these rats or these hamsters that became like 10 feet tall and ate people and killed them. There was a movie that Bowen Yang did like that. And I was watching that movie wanting to see Bowen Yang. And I'm like, what the fuck is this? And now I had to watch this damn ritual on Saturday Night Live. In the name of comedy. So I wrote a post about it. on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter. And boy, people came after me just because I think it's fucking disgusting. I don't like the imagery. I don't like the symbolism. People came after me. It's just comedy. Don't take it serious. It wasn't a ritual. You need to have thicker skin. Huh? What the fuck you talking about? We have rituals at Super Bowl in demonic natures. We have rituals for music artists. So why wouldn't it be a ritual for possibly a demon in Lady Gaga that's appreciating that culture and wanting to be in that culture? Why could it not be a ritual on television? Do you think they're not real? They are real. And then somebody I really respect said, oh, you fucking Bible thumpers. You fucking Bible thumpers always have a problem. Then other people wrote, oh, you're a stupid conspiracy theorist. You actually believe Satanism exists and the devil is real and this and that. First off, what does it matter what I think or believe? How does it affect you? Okay, if you got nothing nice to say, don't say nothing at all to a person individually. And stop giving personal attacks for an opinion. I do not like satanic imagery. I do not like satanic symbolism. I do not like what Hollywood and the music industry has become, especially in terms of this type of stuff or pedophiles and other of the like. It is all scary and disgusting to me, and I don't even like horror movies. When I was younger, maybe I liked them. But now at my age, I do not like this stuff. And it is not comedy to me. How is dripping BLOOD and making them drink from a cup of BLOOD and demons trying to take them to another level, how is that funny? Because you had a couple of funny lines. And it's at a place called Friendly's when it's nothing but friendly. It's demonic. Oh, just drink the BLOOD. It's free, said Bowen Yang's character. Drink the BLOOD. It's free. Yeah. Go F yourself. Then people were referencing, it was just a skit. It was all about Indiana Jones because they referenced Molaram. They did a reference to Molaram in the scariest Indiana Jones movie I ever seen of my life. And Molaram was taking the hearts out of children and all that other stuff in Indiana Jones Temple of Doom, which had a bunch of kids in it. So now they're referencing Molaram in there to take this girl's heart and turn it into a sundae. And that's funny. Why? Because they referenced a classic movie, Temple of Doom and Indiana Jones. Is that why they get a pass that it's not demonic and it's not a ritual? I absolutely hated this. I absolutely hated watching this. I felt some sort of a way watching this, and I did not like it. I have watched other things before of a satanic nature, and I haven't felt this disturbed as I did watching this. It's not my thing. I am not here to tell you what to enjoy. I am not telling you here to what to like. I am not telling you or preaching to you to love God or this or that or whatever. I am not doing that. I am attracted and love a lot of people, whether they're into this imagery or not, or horror movies or blood or whatever. I love them all. I love goth women. I've had gothic people on my podcast. I'm attracted to goth girls, but not the satanic imagery part of it, not the blood part of it, if there is any in their cosplay or their this or their that. But I'm attracted to like the gothic, dark leathers. I'm attracted to it. So that's kind of weird, right? Go figure. When I don't like this stuff. But hey, that's who I am. When it becomes this deep and this ingrained with Satanism or this or that, even in the gothic culture or whatever, I'm out. I don't have to be around you. I don't have to watch the movies with you. I don't have to partake. I'm not going to. It's not my thing. You know, whatever. Does that mean I'm into BDSM? I don't know. I've never really experimented with it. I don't know. Just being honest. Brent Mania said, I feel like I'm losing my mind. Can't calm down. Sorry, Brent. I know you probably have anxiety and other things, and both of our blood pressure is going up today. It's a real subject to me because I'm a big fan of SNL and Gaga for the reasons I mentioned. But for people thinking it's not a ritual or whatever, they referenced Lamashatu. Lamashtu. They referenced it, and they wanted them to drink his blood. And he appeared in there. Well, let's read what he is. For the people that think it was all about Molaram from Indiana Jones, let's see who it was actually they were referencing. It was Lamashatu. Is a demonic Mesopotamian deity with the head of a lion, the teeth of a donkey, DonkeyLips, naked breast, a hairy body, hands stained with blood, long fingers and fingernails, and the feet of Anzu. She, apparently this demon is a she, was believed to feed on the blood of human infants. So, the person in the skit is drinking the blood. Why do I keep saying it? I'm fearful of YouTube. Is drinking the blood, allegedly, of infants. In that skit, there's also rumors about a dream. What's it called? Chrome? With the Hollywood community and Lady Gaga and other people like that, where they can get the vibrance of life. So now on a Hollywood stage like SNL, they present that Lamashatu character, and they had everybody bathe in their blood and drink their blood that is from human infants that were unalived by this deity or demon or whatever it's called, and was widely blamed as the cause of miscarriages and COT deaths. So this demon takes their insides, their liquid, feeds off of it, and causes women to not have their baby. Is that funny? Is that funny? Because they showed Molaram. And they praised this character as well. That's not funny. That ain't funny, y'all. Not funny. Not funny at all. Not funny at all, y'all. Kind of like Def Comedy Jam ended up not becoming funny for me the older I got. Why? Because on Def Comedy Jam, that HBO show, they had a lot of comedians, but all they would talk about is body parts and sex and body parts. And they considered that humor. Not all of them, but some of them. They just kept saying things like this. Yeah. You ever been with a girl that's pushy is so big, she swallows you like a whale? That ain't funny. Oh, so I had to suck his D. And it was not tasty. Hamburger. It's not funny to me. Real comedy comes from personal stories. And that's what makes me think that, is this a ritual and a personal story to Lady Gaga, or the person that created it, or both? They created it together. It felt like a ritual. I believe it was a ritual. And we all had to witness it and go through that ritual while watching it. You don't want these evil spirits around you. I don't care whether you're religious or not. You don't want this stuff. This is nothing but negative. But then people were saying it was only one skit. It was only one skit, you know, and Lady Gaga was just the actress in it. It was only one skit. Well, if you watch her musical performances from her album Mayhem, and I forgot the song's name, but one of them was called Abracadabra. She wore another demon suit. Why? Because it's in red? Yes. Then she had these weird creatures around her in a box. Then the words of her songs, and I don't know it verbatim, but she's something about like, I'm the demon in red. You're going to bow down to me. You're going to accept me. I'm going to tell you what to do. You're going to enter the dark of the night with me. You're going to do this with me. And then she makes her face, and she goes, and then all her little dancers and singers around her are like doing demonic faces and symbols and devil horns and all this other stuff. It's a fucking ritual. That was an entire ritual that night. There was also another skit that was borderline crazy. I just can't remember it offhand because I'm trying to fucking forget. It's fucking disgusting. Utterly disgusting. SNL should be canceled. And another thing that bothers me about this entire show is some actors that I love, comedians, wanted to be a part of this skit. Maybe Kenan Thompson and some others that I respected wanted to be a part of this skit. They wanted to dress up, do all that stuff, because to them it's art or it's comedy. But it just made me think a little bit less about them. To be quite honest with you, if I was a cast member on SNL, I would be honored. I still would be honored. Would I have blindly done a skit like that? I wouldn't have. If you asked me 20 years ago, I would say, of course I would. I don't care. My beliefs would be set to the side. I want to be on SNL. I want to be a star. But no. I would not want to do that for SNL. Knowing what I know now about the pedophiles in Hollywood, the satanic culture, the symbolism, the rituals that I believe are truly happening in this world that a lot of people don't see, I would not do it. I would not do it. I would hold up to my standard. And I hope my talent would oversee where if they told me to do it and I was like, you know what? It goes against everything I believe and I feel. And I'm going to sit this one out, Lorne Michaels. I'm going to sit this one out. Hopefully I was so talented, you know, in skits before that with other characters that Lorne Michaels would be like, no problem, and not fire me. But then again, if he did fire me for not wanting to be in one skit that I believe is a ritual, then I would sue. I'd go on the media circuit, let everybody know what happened. How I was unintentionally fired. There's been Saturday Night Live cast members, when they had a certain guest on their show as a host, there were certain Saturday Night Live cast members that didn't even want to be in that episode for political reasons. and Lorne Michaels agreed with them on that. So if the situation came up, and again, it's a hypothetical, I hope he would not let me do it. But I definitely have a different vision about Lorne Michaels, some of the Cash members, and I know what Lady Gaga is about. Even though I thought she was turning toward good, I know what she's about. Do you guys think it was a skit? Disgusting? Did you enjoy every minute of it? I don't care either way. I will always still love you. Just like the people from the channels that make fun of me or whatever, I will try to love you until I can't. Until you do something to me personally, I will love you forever and not care. All right, thanks everybody for listening to that diatribe about my Saturday Night Live experience. Wow, an hour and a half in, we got to get this show going. Quickly, let me say hello to the people that might be chiming in late. Sarah Osborne's in here. Hi, Sarah. 405 Cowboy, Krang. Larry Jester. Oh, boy, my comments are way far behind. And I'm going to do your comments at the end of the show a little bit more better. Super chats get priority. Hit that thumbs up, that like. And all that other stuff, man. I appreciate it. Goodness gracious. Come Honors here. Stockton Crushed is here. Variable Volume is here. Come Honor. Maria, the Dancing Queen's here. Hi, Maria. Faith is still online. Boy, you guys have a really good chat room going tonight. Thank you guys so much. Grazer, very in-depth. Maria, I always have your heart. And Chris is online. How am I feeling? Well, I need to let my blood pressure settle. Because when I made the post on Instagram about that skit, people came after me. Like with personal attacks. Calling me stupid, crazy, dumb, ignorant, a Bible thumper, a preacher. Fuck. Wow. Wow. So it made me look at a lot of people in a different light. Again, if you don't like it, you don't agree. Honestly, don't say something or personal attack me because you think your opinion needs to be known. Well, then, you posted your opinion. We need to post ours. Not really. Not really. If you're going to personally attack me, insult me, or call me names when you're supposedly a friend or a fan of mine, that's not going to solve anything. It ain't going to solve nothing. It ain't going to solve anything. If you disagree, do it in a polite manner or hit me up privately and talk to me. Hey, did you really not like it? I kind of thought it was funny, Michael. This is the reason why I thought it was funny. Instead of, you fucking conspiracy Bible thumper, you stupid, dumb person. I can't believe you're an idiot and believe it's real. The reason people get so mad and fight back at you, whether publicly or in person, is because whatever I presented to them in a post or a video or whatever, there's a little bit of truth behind it. And they know it. They know it. That's why it gets into their head and they're like, oh, no, you're wrong. You're stupid. It's just comedy. It's just a skit. Satanism isn't real. It's because there's truth there. And now their brains are starting to realize it, but they're fighting the truth. Same thing with conspiracy theories. Same thing. When you tell them something about 9/11, the moon landings, NASA, shut up! How dare you? I know the science. My father was a scientist. My mother was an astronaut. I believe it. I saw it happen down the street. My cousin was there. If you believe in the Bible and other things, which I have issues with, but we're living in the time of revelations. Everything is being revealed. Everything is making our eyes wide open, whether it be pedophiles, Satanism, TV, media, press reporters, presidents, agendas. It's all being revealed. The skies, the this, the that, the conspiracies. We're living in the time of revelations. And a lot of truths are starting to come out. And people are starting to realize it. And they're getting scared, so they're getting mad, so they're yelling back at you in defiance because the truth is coming out. We're going to leave it at that. All right, hit that thumbs up, that like, that subscribe button. Consider becoming a member of this channel for early and exclusive content. Thank you for being a part of Mikey's World. I do have donation portals down below. If you could find yourself supporting me at my time of need, I'd greatly appreciate it, and I'll try to reciprocate. And thank you for everybody for always coming through and helping me to have some good days. I appreciate you. God bless. All right, let's talk about a stunt that almost killed me in a movie. Hopefully I can air the video footage or share some pictures and we can go through this together. But the reason why I decided to do this story on today's Mikey's World was because I was watching a video from a pop culture person named Sloan, and he talked about Ryan Reynolds, that on the set of Deadpool, let me see if I can get that on screen. Okay, so I got to remove, sorry, give me 1 second. So I have to remove these from the studio. And then I got to add the other pictures. All right, let me add that other picture. They only let you put 10 pictures on here. Not more than that. All right, here we go. Because I was watching a video by this guy named Sloan, and he did a story about Ryan Reynolds because Ryan Reynolds and his girlfriend Blake Lively are all in the news, you know, for that fascinating Hollywood movie thing. It ends with us. It ends with a lawsuit, bitch. But apparently, a stunt woman passed away in a failed stunt on Deadpool Part 2. They settled out of court with her family, and then they only got fined $300,000 for safety violations to Joy Harris, a stunt woman that passed away. And long story short, she was a motorcycle rider, and she barely started riding in 2014, and they hired her for Deadpool 2 because she was a black woman, and she needed to be the stunt person of the same race for the actress playing Domino in Deadpool 2. You know, Domino, the character with the white eye. I remember those comic books. I had a couple of them with Wolverine and Domino as well. But so instead of hiring a specific stunt person or woman and possibly putting them in blackface to make them look like the character Domino, they hired she wasn't a stunt woman. They hired a motorcycle race car driver that had all the physical features of the actress that played Domino. And they had her ride a Ducati bike that was bigger than any of the bikes that she rode. She was not a stunt woman. She doesn't know how to perform stunts. She doesn't have experience. They didn't put a helmet on her because her hair needed to have a big afro frizz. So they didn't even create a helmet for her where like hair would come out of the helmet, where it would just look like a hairdo. And they didn't hire a stunt woman, and she didn't have a lot of training. And you guys can go watch the video online somewhere else to get the full story. Long story short, she did the stunt 4 times, and I guess it didn't look correctly. So the director had her do it a 5th time. And they added a ramp or something else, a second ramp. And she's riding a bike that was heavier than anything she's used to. She didn't know how to stop for the brakes or avoid the actors that were running in the scene or whatever that they added on the 5th time. Long story short, she was supposed to brake. Instead of braking, she sped up or did something. She hit a curb, avoided people, and she flew through a glass window in a building across the street and lost her life. And that was a tragedy. Then they also talked about a stuntman that lost their life on The Walking Dead in a fall. Then there's also a story that somebody on Harry Potter, a stunt person, lost their life as well on Harry Potter, one of the movies. And then it got me thinking, about a time when I was in a Roger Corman movie and I was doing stunts in that movie early on. And I shouldn't have been. And I've also broken my leg in a short film doing a stunt in a rehearsal for a short film. I broke my foot in 17 places. I've had 4 surgeries. Walk with a limp now, as it still swells up. I got metal pieces all over my foot, rods. But, that's not the story for today's video. But, that was a stunt that I shouldn't have done in that short film. But I wanted to, and all I needed to do was jump onto a mat from 10 feet off of the roof into a wrestling type mat. And I did it incorrectly. I didn't know how to jump, because jumping is a stunt. They weren't even filming. It was a rehearsal before I filmed anything. That's right. That stunt that wasn't filmed in the short film was a rehearsal before I filmed anything. And I had to film the next day and later that evening with a broken foot. But that's a story for another day. But because of the Deadpool stuff that I talked about, let me thank the super chats that I'm getting in. Chris with $1. Thank you. God bless. Appreciate it. Truly, I do. But because of the Deadpool story that I saw on a video, it started making me think, was there a stunt besides the one that we kind of talked about that I could have actually lost my life? I mean, technically, I could have lost my life if I fell on my head in the short film, jumping off the roof. But it basically just fractures and stuff, because it wasn't that high. It was like 10 feet. So I don't think I could have lost my life there. Even if I jumped on my head, yes, I could have. But I was thinking, was there a point where I could have lost my life in a movie? Then it reminded me of Captain Nuke and the Bomber Boys. That's right, a Roger Corman movie I did. The first Roger Corman movie of $1 million budget that starred Martin Sheen. Let me see if I can get the poster on screen before we go into detail. So there's the posters from the VHS called Captain Nuke and the Bomber Boys. Starred Joe Mantegna, Martin Sheen, and the guy from SNL. I forgot his damn name. One of the actors from SNL, Joe Piscopo. And me, of course. And rest in peace, Ryan Schaefer, who's on the cover in front of me as well. They also called that movie in a different country to sell the movie more. They called it Demolition Day. So let me show that picture if I can. Whoops. So there's that picture. They called it Demolition Day in other countries. I'm not on the box. They wanted to make it look like a more action movie instead of a action comedy movie. All right, but let's get it off screen for now. And, well, you know what? I'm just going to let it play with no audio. Hopefully my internet doesn't go out. I don't know. But just watch this entire stunt where we're all on bicycles and we go to like a yard. We're being chased by the FBI. And early on, I'll explain it after we watch it, but they didn't have stuntmen for a certain shot that we did where I had to do basically my own stunts. But then they had stuntmen after we filmed it, and I was scared shitless. But let's watch the entire 4-minute sequence of the stunts in this Roger Corman movie. There are stuntmen throughout, but we filmed one of these scenes that I'll talk about after where they had us be in it instead of the stuntmen, and I could have lost my life. But let's watch it. And I don't know where this movie is available online. I don't know if it's available in streaming. I don't know. If you guys want to watch it, check it out. It's called Captain Nuke and the Bomber Boys. But let's get into the stunt. Okay, I don't know how good I edited it with my bad stuff. I thought I edited the stunt. Oh, there it is. Okay. So that's my house. They came looking for me because apparently we got a nuclear bomb and we're threatening to blow it off. We found a nuclear bomb in a pizza shop. But those are the FBI agents after realizing we snuck out of the house and we got on bicycles and they're chasing me and my bomber boys, as we're called. And there's us on bikes. I'm not on the bike there. There I am on the bike. Not a good bike. Again, so we had to do some. Riding a bike is a stunt. They wanted close-ups for a lot of these shots. Look, some of these shots are with the stuntmen, like that one. But let's just watch it together. And again, the cars get really close at that time. And we're in some of these shots, like we literally are riding. It's very scary. He did his own stunt right there. Guaranteed. I was there. I watched it. Sorry, the internet went dead. And so here it is, more of the stunts, for the movie. A low budget movie, of course. But, interesting to say the least. He was a cool actor. He was fun to hang out with. I like that guy. Forgot his name. So again, now there's a motorcycle stunt with official stuntmen. But we are in some of the shots. Even though we're not technically doing the big stunt. As you see, as this goes along, look, there's a big stunt with the car flipping over. Look, on its side. Right there with stuntman, a car hitting it. An actor now. Sorry, guys. My internet goes out while I play the video. It goes out and gets choppy. My apologies. But it'll be over with in a couple of minutes. I'm just showing you the whole stunt showcase. Now, this is where I believe the stunt could have went even wrong, and I could have been unalived. I think it's coming up right now in this segment. They did have stuntmen for this segment, but we are in some of the shots very close. And I'll explain what happened. If you don't see it on screen, I'll explain it in pictures in a minute or two. We had a lot of little kids. I'm like, give me your bike. I need your bike. I'm confiscating it from the little girl. And she's like, I want my bike. What is that, Goonies? I want my bike. I want my bike. I want my bike. This is kind of funny. Old lady chasing him on the pink bike for the girl. The FBI agent chasing us. Isn't it funny? That is a good representation of FBI agents in the Biden era or the Obama era. Now he's confiscating the old lady's car. Okay, here's where the stunt went wrong, or could have went even worse. Watch it. I'm not going to explain it till later. We're on a bike. We're riding into a drive-in theater, trying to stay away. Those are us on the bikes. These are us on the bikes. Now look, these are us. These are not the stunt people. Look at this. He gets caught. There I go through because it's a wide shot, and he's caught. Now the cars officially come. Those are us. And then we turn the corner. It's not a separate shot. I'll explain it deeper. They filmed it all in one shot. See if I can reverse it because I think my internet went out. It's all one shot. They had two cameras rolling because they used us. I'll explain it in a second. But again, the cars bust through the gate. I'm trying to go back a little bit further. I'm just struggling. Forgive me. And again, I'm just barely turning the corner. And you could see it from that other shot. We were turning the corner. Now look closely here. Look, I'm somewhere in there. That's me. That is not a stunt person. It's all one shot that they filmed with like 2 or 3 cameras in a zoom mode. That's me. That is me. That is me right there. You're going to see that in more detail in a second. But that was me, almost getting trampled by that damn bike. I mean, by the car. Some of these have stuntmen, like that has a stuntman. But now look at this stunt. Well, he's there, but they have a stuntman off of the roof. That's a stuntman. But now watch what happens here with the professional stuntman. She broke her leg. This woman that's on the car, she broke her leg when she got off of it. And again, they can only film these stunts one time. Most of the time. He lights his lighter on it. That was one take. Now watch what happens to this car after the fact with this big stunt. The ramp hidden behind the barrels. Look at the car. Look at the car. Look at the car. All right, let me get it off screen. And let me just try to show you guys in pictures what I went through. And I left the set right after this happened. I was not on the set anymore. I said, it is no longer a safe set. And I'm being asked to do things that I will never do again. So there's that picture of us coming from around the corner to enter the drive-through theater on the bike. The yellow or the white arrow is on me. Then the white arrow on the left of the screen is the outside of the building where the cars are going to turn around, and it's all one camera shot. I promise you, it's all one camera shot. So from a distance, they have the gate and entering into the drive-in theater behind, in the camera frame back there. Then on the left, where the arrow is, that's the side of the screen. So they have a camera on the other side of the building to the left, filming. Then they have a camera that you see now filming the wide shot. They can always zoom in, they can always zoom out, but it's a wide shot of all of that you see. And there's also another camera to the left filming the side angle of the building. Then there's a third camera that's going like this during this entire scene. So we did it once or twice in rehearsal. That's right, we did it, but we didn't do it full speed. We did it half-assing it. Okay, we're gonna take the bike up here, and then we're gonna go through the gate, and then we're gonna come around the corner while we're pulling the bikes or riding real slow, and then the camera's gonna go there. So we rehearsed it like 2 or 3 times in slow motion. Because the first time you do it in fast motion, you got to film it, and you might only get 1 take. Okay? But for the rehearsals, the cars were not going to come around the corner. They were not going to come at 5 miles per hour while we're on the bikes, because we're going slow, so the cars are not going to do it. And they're not going to do it till we finally do the real take. So that's how we rehearsed it. So we didn't know how fast the cars would be. They told us, they're going to be kind of slow. We'll speed it up with the film. The stunt drivers are going to be slow. They're going to watch out for you. They're not going to get anywhere close to your bikes. Even when they come around the corner, you're going to be in the corner. And, they got that little Ferris wheel thing that's going to block the cars. You're going to be fine. They're stuntmen. They're professionals. All right. So then we film it. And what I just showed you guys was the one time filming it live. And it is us. The only stuntmen in that stuff that I provided, they were driving the cars. And they were going too fast. Then on top of that, the guy got caught in the gate. That made us get even slower going through the gate. And look at the picture. I'll make it a little bit bigger. How do I make it bigger? Look at the gate in the picture. It is connected with like a fake chain. And there's no distance from it. And the cars are in the background on the left waiting to come in around the side. When they got knowledge that we were past the gate, that's when they tell the cars to come on in once we're past the gate. Now, let's go to the next picture. So that is the first actor, Ryan. He passed away from drug use about 5 years after this. Rest in peace. Love you, miss you, brother. But there's the gate. So he was the first person to go through the gate. And he was the one that was supposedly going to open up the gate and break the chain, because he was the quickest bicycle driver or rider. So his purpose was to break open the gate, because he was a little bit more physical than us other actors. And he was supposed to open up the gate somehow with his body or the bike and make it a bigger distance. But look, he already went through the gate. Nothing is open. And look at the distance between the gate and the little red line. There's not much there. And then there I am on the right side of the screen, coming in the rear. DonkeyLips is coming in the rear. DonkeyLips is coming in the rear. He's third place. And now the cars, after the first bicycle rider goes past the gate, they call in the cars. Because they were told the minute they passed the gate, call in the cars. But it should have been the minute all 3 of us pass the gate to call in the cars. They made a mistake. So now the next rider gets caught. Oh, he was also in a movie called Carnosaur. For you videophiles of Roger Corman, he was in the movie Carnosaur 1 and 2 with Roger Corman, and this Roger Corman movie. I forgot his name. It might be Josh Schaefer, or his name might be Ryan, and the other guy is Josh. Sorry, I'm blanking. But there he is getting caught because there was no gate or no footage between the gate connecting, and it wasn't opened up. There's also a damn orange thing that stopped him and makes him fall off the bike. And I'm that close to him coming in the rear in third place. And I got to get through the gate because I now know and I see and I hear the cars are coming. The cars are a-coming. And for the people that think, it's not him, it's me. I was there. I'm trying to prove it, but I have a bad quality copy. I don't even know what it was filmed in. It was filmed with film, I believe. I don't know the quality. It's not HD. The version I have that I edited from is probably like 480p or something like that. I don't know. I recorded it off of VHS. So that's the only copy I got. I don't think it's on DVD. If it is, I don't know. I got to get one. So now here's a closer image of him being caught in the gate, and the cars are just about to turn the corner now. And they're going quicker than we ever thought. And he kicked the gate open, thank God, with his foot when he fell off the bike. He kicked it open, so now the gate had enough room for my slow ass to get through it. But now I got to go onto a different surface. Just to remind you all, we're on concrete right now. But the minute we get to the other side of the building or the other side of the screen, it becomes like sand. It was a playground. It becomes like dirt and sand. And how the hell do you ride a bike through dirt and sand to avoid these fucking cars that are coming through? So just a second or two later, there are the cars. That quickly. Once he got out of the gate. Now, the gate should have been kicked open more. The gate should be towards the left where the cars can kind of come through. And they put that damn orange thing because they wanted them to hit the orange thing. And the orange thing would like go flying. But they didn't want the gate to be that open. They didn't want them to have to push through the gate from the front because the gate is going to swing toward us on the bicycles. They thought the gate would be toward the side and it wouldn't be open for the cars to hit it. So that's why they put the orange thing so that they can show it flying. You get it? But no, the gate wasn't open correctly by none of us because we're not stuntmen. Or they didn't have a contraption to make it open correctly, and we got caught in the gate, and now the gate is in that same angle, and look at the bottom of the gate. It's still connected to the fucking concrete with that little metal piece. Jesus Christ. Like, the more I talk about it, I have to think about what else could have went wrong, how I'm so lucky to be alive. Well, you're not even anywhere near it. Yes, I am. I'll show that in a second. But so the cars come, they hit the gate swings toward us, and now I fell, or I started to fall once the ground became dirt and sand instead of concrete, just to the left of the screen. While there's 3 cameras filming us, all in one take. The cars are coming so damn quickly. So I'm now barely hitting the sand, and I'm getting caught in the sand, and I'm trying to ride the bike past the Ferris wheel to the corner so that way the cars don't get anywhere near me. And this is a continued shot. And I know I'm hard to see, but I am right there where that white arrow is. We came around the side of the building, as you can see, with our bikes. The first actor went across. The second actor went across because I had to wait for him because he got caught by the gate. I was supposed to be the third guy on the bike to go around the building. So I waited on the sand. As you can see, it's like sand and gravel. Then they had all these little buckets or whatever set up for the car to hit it to make a splash. But because I got tripped up at the gate, the cars were quicker than they should have been. And because the gate was actually open, I avoided the gate the first time, and I'll show that video again. Then I'm now in the corner trying to go to my position by the Ferris wheel or whatever it's called, and the car turned around the corner. Look how close the car is to me with the red line. I wish I could zoom in, but I don't think this program has that capability. Look how close the car is to me right there. And I'm not even anywhere near the Ferris wheel that I was supposed to be near in this damn picture. I think I have another picture of that to maybe give a different effect of the Ferris wheel. Let me see if this is that picture. Okay, that's still the continuation of that shot that we saw before. This is like a second after where the car turns, and there I am still that close to the car, barely avoiding it when it turned, and it was just a mess. It was a freaking mess. Okay. Oh yeah, that was the one I just showed. Yeah, that was the one I just showed. So let's watch that again just quickly, and maybe you guys can see it in better. I'll do it full screen. Maybe you guys can see it better, but that's what happened. That was scary as shit to me. Scary as shit. So let me just bring it to that ending point. All right, let me try to make that full screen. How do I make it full screen? And let me take off that banner. So here it is in its entirety. Again, this is all us. All one shot, one time, 3 cameras at different angles. Boom, see the gate opened? They might have filmed that separately. I don't even know. But look, the gate opened just there. Look, and there I am, coming third. There I am, riding the bike. And there it is. Bam! Right there, hits me almost. Oh, there's the damn Ferris wheel or whatever they call it. So, yeah. So I had to leave. I had to leave the set after that. I mean, I left the set. I just wasn't filming anymore. I took off my clothing. My wardrobe. Got into my regular gear. I went in my little trailer. We had a little small trailer, and I was like, I ain't filming no more. I'm scared shitless. Then like a half an hour passed, and they were still filming, and then I decided to watch all the other stunts happen. And then they got on the phone with Stuntman and all that other stuff, and they got like a stuntman for me and everybody to come down because they weren't there when they filmed us earlier that morning. I don't know what happened, but it was just a horrific day, and I'm proud to be alive. I really, really am. And I thought I had a picture of that stunt person losing or in the car. Oh, yeah. Here, let me put this on screen. So if you go back and watch the video to its completity that I just showed you a little bit ago, there was the car that flipped off of the roof or whatever, chasing the kid. And look how it landed. The stunt woman broke a leg when she was on top of the car. Then this stunt man that was driving this car that flipped over, when this other one hit it, look how it hit it on the back of the trunk, and it got flattened completely from the top with the arrows. So the stuntman is in there driving the car, and it got flattened. There were no steel poles or whatever for the car to stay upright like a driver. There was no steel poles or barriers. And this person had to be removed with a piece of equipment called the jaws of life. The jaws of life. So, man, what a blessing. Nobody lost their life during these stunts on this day at the drive-in theater. What a blessing. What a blessing. What a blessing. Yo, Sluggo saying what's up. Yo, Mikey, hope all is well, brother. Thank you, man. I hope you guys are enjoying today's video. All right, that being said, that's our last segment for today's show. But I'm going to stick around for a few minutes, try to answer some of your questions out of respect for maybe 10 or 15 minutes. We've only had 11 super chats so far and 1 donation through PayPal or Venmo or Cash App. So we haven't reached our goal. So I'm not going to play truth or dare with y'all unless we can get it in the next 15 minutes while I hang out and talk to y'all. What's up, Corn Diff? Good to see you, brother. Hope you're well, you and your brother. Lord knows my brother has so many issues. All right, let's get the banner that says ask me questions or something like that while we close out today's Mikey World, and I appreciate y'all for hanging out with me. Let's take some questions, read some comments on screen for the next 15 minutes or so out of respect for you all supporting and hanging out with me. And wow, today's show was a doozy, right? My blood pressure is going through the roof. Talking about SNL, Satanism, demonology, religion, cultures, stunt people passing away. My God, today was a dark theme. But we're finding the light. We're finding the light. 405 Cowboy said, don't do stunts with Alec Baldwin. A lot of people think he specifically, did that person. I don't think so. Dude, I was doing a stunt on the not a stunt, but I was shooting a weapon on the X-Files. And we went to a training for 2 days at a weapons place before we filmed that episode of the X-Files. And they taught us guns and everything. Then right around that time, Brandon Lee passed away on the set of The Crow. And so we had like the prop person, the gun person, the arms expert, whatever. And they were going through it before we filmed on location. And they were showing us the blanks. These are the blanks. This is why they are a blank. This is where the metal's been pushed in or this or that. And I have some of them for sale. I'm going to need to sell something in the next week or two because I need some money. So maybe I'll sell you guys some of the blank bullets from that X-Files episode. I think I got like 8 or 9 or 10 of them that I kept or collected or took home. But they were showing us the blanks. They were showing us put it in the gun. They had little mags and they were putting it in the mag or whatever. And they're like, see, this is the blank. This is the blank. And then they were showing us whatever. There's nothing in there right now. We're putting in a blank to be the first bullet. And they were showing that to us. And they did that for like 10 minutes before. And they did it 2 or 3 times in front of us. Then they cleared out the entire set. Whenever we were going to shoot the blanks in the guns, they cleared out the entire set. They had everybody from behind us except for the camera. Then they built like a glass wall, or they had some sort of a wall or something around the camera, like a bulletproof wall where we were shooting the blanks into, and nobody was around. So then we filmed our scenes where we yell and scream and shoot our guns, and nothing happened. And then they had people shooting us from the roofs like Nazis or whatever in that. What a fantastic, fun episode to film. But I don't think Alec Baldwin, knew what was happening or personally did it. They just really messed up with their safety procedures. And the gun, the prop gun, the old gun, whatever it was, the prop people, the gun people, they messed up. They messed up. Don't know if my post was seen asking about heavyweights. It came out in 95, not speaking for Michael, but it probably wasn't proposed to him from his agent because the kids were 13 and he was 18 or 19. I was 20 in 95. Yeah, I was 20 years of age. How old was Sean? I don't know. Good point. Good point. Can't remember was the last time I rode a boat. Probably the early 2000s. Rode a bike. I need to get a bike, man. Well, I have an exercise bike here. I should use it more. But honestly, I use it like 30 minutes a week, which is a lot for me. But I need to do it more. My butt starts to hurt. Merry-go-round. Jessica Lee. Mike was 18 or 19. Also, Blake Sennett was 19 when he landed the role of Ronnie Pinsky. All right. Thoughts on Pete Carroll? Man, I haven't followed the NFL today. I watched NFL Live earlier today, and the Raiders and their draft picks. I'll do another show probably on Friday on my Raider channel. I'm not really excited about having Pete Carroll, but we could have done worse. I don't know. Have I ever been arrested? Yes, I have. Technically. Well, twice. But I don't think they were like official arrest or in the books or however that works out. Or the charges were dropped. One of them was for my brother. We got in a fight. His drinking, his anger, his alcoholism. I just went off the rails one day, came home and he was drunk like a skunk, and he did some things while he was supposed to be taking care of my father, and I just went off, and I started hitting him and started fighting, and then I'm gonna call the cops on you. Then he called the cops. The damn, rent-a-cops come down, and if you call the cops nowadays, any person can end up being murdered, allegedly, or accidentally injured from that type of a situation. But they came down and, he's screaming at them, hey, he hit me, he did this, he caused damage, look, I got a bruise mark and I'm bleeding and whatever, and he hit me and this and that. And I'm like, he's fucking drunk as a skunk. He's supposed to be taking care of my dad. And, I started telling the entire situation. They're like, we can see that. We can see that. But, you hit him. Did you hit him? I'm like, yeah, I did. I did. I go, because he acted like he was going to hit me. He picked up what was it? We had like a pole, like a wooden stick or whatever. And he picked it up. Arr! And I said, oh, you're going to pretend to hit me? Bam, bam, bam. Let's do this. Bam. You're going to scare me and make me fear for my life? He should have been charged. That isn't attempted whatever battery. That is battery, just making the motion. I didn't know that back in the days. But, he pressed charges. They took me in. And here's the funny thing. I had to work on the show with Ryan Murphy the next day on the show called Popular, the TV show called Popular. I had to work on that show the next day. So now I'm in a damn jail cell for a few hours until whatever they do, the paperwork or whatever's going on. And then I don't know if I'm going to get to film or the TV show the next morning, because they said I was going to be there overnight, this and that for battery. And I'm like, really? So I didn't know if I officially was going to be there overnight or whatever the charges were or whatever. But, long story short. Oh, no, this happened in the morning. It wasn't overnight. Sorry, guys. I'm trying to remember the story correctly. That's where my brain goes. Sometimes I forget correctly. This happened in the morning. When I got in a fight with my brother. Because he was supposed to take care of my dad the night before and do some stuff for him. And he ended up drinking the entire night, falling asleep in the living room or doing whatever he did. And my dad, I found out he fell. My dad fell because my brother wasn't there and awake or coherent to help my dad, because my dad was going blind, struggling and stuff like that. And he had some health issues, my dad did. And he didn't help my dad out. And so when I woke up, I checked on my father. My brother was like dead asleep or whatever the hell it was, in the chair, probably with cigarettes everywhere, alcohol bottles everywhere. And then I talked to my dad, and then my dad told me, oh, hey, good morning. And because I was about to go to work in a couple hours. And then my dad told me that, like he had to walk to the bathroom that night alone, and he hit the cupboard or the wall, and he kind of fell. And I'm like, oh shit. And then he showed me a bruise or something on his left leg where he kind of fell like into, not a cupboard, but like a cabinet or whatever's by the wall. And I blew a gasket. So I woke my brother up. I start screaming at him, yelling at him, what the fuck? You said you were going to be awake all night. You were supposed to take on this responsibility, this and that. And then he's running around and I'm yelling at him. He's like, don't you talk to me like that. Fuck you. Dad didn't fall. Dad didn't do anything. Huh, Dad. Huh, Dad. Huh, Dad. He's still drunk, basically. Like they go on bingers for 3 days. Even if he slept 2 hours or an hour, whatever the time frame might have been. And then it got out of hand. The cops were called. So I went into the damn facility in NoHo, the NoHo police station. And then, my brother's supposed to go there, or he's still talking to the cop, and they're doing paperwork and whatever they're doing for the case. And I had to be on set in like an hour and a half or 2 hours. So luckily I got phone calls. I called my agent. Told them to get a hold of production and all that other stuff. Let them know I don't know what's going on, how long I'm going to be held. And long story short, some phone calls were made. I don't know what happened, but I got released like 2 hours later, and I was now about 35 minutes late to be on set, maybe 40 minutes, 45 minutes late. And I personally got hired by Ryan Murphy in the auditions. So I get on set now, finally, and I'm talking to my agent, and they're like, what happened? What's going on? Then Ryan Murphy greeted me, and he goes, oh, I'm really glad I hired an official hoodlum, because I was playing like a punk rock person with a mohawk, like a violent punk rock person with a mohawk on this show. And now he got information that I was literally in jail for a violent attack or battery or whatever the possible charge would have been. And he's like, oh, I'm glad that I hired a actual like violent criminal or felon. And he made an offhanded comment. And he's like, well, I'm still glad you're here. And then we filmed, the episode. And it was a tough day for me because a lot of the cast members that were starring on the show heard all that other stuff, and they were asking me questions. What happened? I heard you were in jail. And, I have to relive the story of my alcoholic brother, and that type of pain. But after the fact, I never got an official paperwork or summons that I was officially charged with battery or whatever. So it's not on my record. I think they were dropped. My brother probably ended it once he came to his senses. But I went home later that day and people were like, oh, what happened? What happened after? Those are those moments where you just go into your bedroom or wherever you sleep, and then you walk out and you stay away from the other person. You don't care what they do. You don't want to talk to them. You don't want to see it. Or I stay at a friend's house, but I had to worry about my father. That was the only important thing to me in those moments. I didn't associate with my brother for a good while after that. But yeah, so I don't know if I was arrested. Then the other time I was arrested, God, I'm giving you guys some good content for these stories. And I wanted to get to everybody's comments, but I'm not going to be able to. So get them in the super chat. I'm sorry. I like telling stories, y'all. I like telling stories. Sometimes this is my only life. The other time I got arrested, I don't know if it was an arrest. I don't think it was. But a friend of mine was having a birthday party. A friend of mine that lived in my neighborhood that we hung out and whatever. I think I don't know. I was probably like 25 years of age, 23 years of age. And he was like 17 and a half maybe. And, I would hang out at his house. His mom was beautiful, gorgeous. I don't care. I don't know how old she was, 35, 40, whatever. It doesn't matter. But they were throwing a party. And she goes, oh, Michael, we need to get beer for the party. Can you go pick up some beer? Can you take Anthony? That's right. We're both named Anthony. That's probably why we're friends. My real name is Anthony MichaelRayBower, but I don't have Anthony on any of my stuff. But that was what I was typically named early on. But my friend Anthony as well, the other Anthony, he was there. And, the mother said, hey, can you go get some beer? So she gave me some money and she's throwing a party. I didn't ask for who. I didn't really care. I just thought they were throwing a party for adults. And it was a party for adults. It was for her, her sister, I believe, like having a birthday party with the cousins and everybody showing up at the house. So they were making the food or whatever. So I went to go buy the alcohol because I'm of older age, and she gave me money. And she goes, oh, take Anthony, the other Anthony, with me. I'm like, cool. I wasn't even thinking about it. So we go to a liquor store, and this liquor store was by a high school, North Hollywood High School. I'm telling you that because you'll understand why later. But we went to this liquor store by North Hollywood High School, and this is probably a Saturday or Sunday. I think it's a Saturday. And then I go into the liquor store, and then, I get like 2 boxes of whatever beer it was, of like 24 cans or whatever bottles. I don't really remember what, but it was like 2 of the big things. And I couldn't carry them both because I'm kind of weak. And I think we had to get 2 or 3 of them in total. So the other Anthony was there to help me carry one. So I'm taking it to the counter. We place it on the counter, and then the guy, oh, it'll be whatever amount of money. Show your ID. I show my ID. Okay, no problem. Then Anthony, the other Anthony, and me, I don't know why I'm saying it like that. But we take him off of the counter, and he takes one. Now we're walking outside to the car. Right when we walk outside, this guy comes running at me. Oh, police officer, halt right there. Stop. You're under arrest. What the fuck? And then he shows his badge. Oh, you're buying alcohol for a minor. I'm not buying alcohol for a minor. I'm buying alcohol for a party of adults. Well, he's carrying it, and I saw you pay for it, and he picked it up, and he walked it out of the store. You bought alcohol for a minor. Well, first off, he asked for the kid's ID. That's what happened. When he said, I'm a police officer, hold it right there. I guess the guy looked like a kid. And then he goes, oh, let me see your IDs. So we both show him. And Anthony shows him the ID. And apparently he was like 17 and a half, almost 18 in like 1 month or 2 months. And then that's when, I'm sorry, 18, 21. 21. Anthony was not 21. I think he was like 17 and a half or 18. But you have to be 21 to drink. Whatever. My brain is going wild. But long story short, they checked his ID. And, you know, he was under their age. Oh, you're being arrested for buying alcohol for a minor, this and that. I'm like, isn't this a ticket? No, you're going to be arrested. Both of you are coming with me. We get in the car. Go to the North Hollywood station again. Then, I don't know, he's talking to somebody, doing this and that. Then they fill out something. They ask us questions in a room. What party? Who are you doing it for? Call the mother, the this and the that. Corroborate the story. Then they ended up giving me like a court ticket to like go to court and appeal it or whatever. And I did. And then I don't have no money to buy lawyers or whatever, even though I think it was unjust the way they did it to me. The court system is made for me to plead guilty or no contest or whatever and pay the fines and the courtroom fees and all, and then go on. Because I didn't have any money. What did they make me do? They made me do like community service, like 70 hours or something like that. I don't know, man. So technically, I think I've been arrested, but maybe not paperwork-wise. All right, everybody. I'm tired. My body is starting to break down. As you can tell, I got a little bit slower telling these stories. I wanted to respect everybody in the chat room. I will watch it at a later time and try to read everything. But I'm going to get going. I'm going to eat some food, watch some YouTube, and close out my day. But I've had a wonderful couple of days live streaming. If you guys appreciate it, like what I'm doing here, please hit the like button. Come back for more. And from the bottom of my heart, thank you guys for chiming in and being a part and helping me to have some good days. I really, really appreciate you and love you all. And now this, Jessica 405 Cowboy. Martin is now a new member of the channel. God bless. Thank you so much. Johnny Bowser, Sluggo, everybody online, Dominique, Brent, Born Mush, Krang. I love you guys. Thank you all for chiming in and hanging out with me. And stay good, stay true, and have a big heart. And you're going to be okay. Good night. God bless. Stay healthy, stay happy, stay blessed. And remember, hate can't hurt happy. So try to be happy. I'll see you on the next Mikey's World, probably tomorrow evening, because I'm trying to do it every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Sunday. But it depends on how I feel tomorrow. After eating potatoes, carrots, celery, and some pork. Good night.